Dude, okay, so like all the bullshit with the MCU movies and like how they're just trying to mask the fact that they make bad movies with all this striking drama.
I mean, no, but sure.
Okay. Well, regardless, I want to show you this super badass superhero show that one-ups the MCU in like literally every way. Like it's pretty fucking sick. It's got this really badass
Okay,
protagonist
okay,
character and
hello. Just tell me its name so I can check it out and you'll leave me alone.
yeah, for sure. My bad. It's
Wait, you said what?
I said it's dog, are you deaf or something?
No, motherfucker, you keep cutting out or something. What is it called? Just one more time?
Okay, dipshit. Open your ears up this time. It's I'm. This show is amazing. That's really all I have to say about it. You can roll the outro. I'm joking. Well, about that being all I have to say, I think that this show does so much right, and the amount it does wrong seems to have stemmed mostly from budget constraints, but I'll get there when I get there. While I'm here though, make sure to tell me in the comments below if you want to see my thoughts on the show overall when season 2 comes out. While you're down there, make sure to drop a like and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. When Invincible first came out, and even to a degree now, it stood as a breath of fresh air in an oversaturated superhero genre, but with the newest season coming out within the coming days, I figured what better time than now to dive back into this series and explain to you where it started, how it was received, the impact it left, and my hopes for the upcoming season. This show is honestly one of my favorites in the past years, and I hope that the second season will be as big of a success as the first season was for. Invincible was a comic book series written by Robert Kirkman and illustrated by Cory Walker and Ryan Otley. Otley. That was originally released in issues from January 2003 to February 2018. For those of you who don't know what Invincible is, I'll try to explain it to you without spoiling anything too massive. So basically the main character, Invincible, or Mark, that's his name, and his father, Omni-Man, are humanoid aliens from another planet. Their species are named the Viltrumites, and they, among many other people, have special powers and or abilities. Like, there's this entire league of superheroes that actually star in the first scene of the show. To be fair, they also play a pretty massive role in the show and series later on, but like I said, I'm not going to spoil too much for you just in case you do decide to watch it. Omni-Man tells Mark in the first episode that the Viltrumites come from Viltrum, and when they come of age on their home planet, they go out to other planets and help life forms to develop and just survive, really. That's how Omni-Man ended up on Earth. This is really just a Marvel or DC type of world, well, at least on the outside. Invincible is just a coming-of-age story for a young superhuman type character, but with an extreme focus on realism. Like, the stories told throughout this series aren't easy to stomach, and may hit home for a lot of different types of people. Now, I think I'm going to stop beating around the bush here and just come out and say it. This comic book series, and just series in general, is extremely graphic and mature. Like, they don't play around. People get torn apart. Murder is common, and superheroes get injured bad. The art is absolutely incredible though, and so distinct while still fitting in with every other animated superhero show that's ever existed. But in the same vein, that means that in the scenes with graphic horrors or intense themes, the artists nor writers aren't afraid to pull at your heartstrings, and at times, sink your heart to the bottom of your stomach. So you may see a few fighting scenes in the video when I get to editing it, but the majority of them I can't even show on YouTube, so yeah, that's how graphic it is. It's intense, but that's part of what makes the show so unique and awesome, to say the least. The show is basically just a retelling of the comics with some minor changes to the characters in order to make them feel more inclusive, such as Mark's best friend William being gay or Amber, the main love interest, being black instead of a white chick with blonde hair. There's also a few moments in the show that vary with how in line it is with the original comic books. In order to keep an audience entertained in a movie or show, you have to write things differently than you would in a comic, so this makes total sense and happens all the time with adaptations. But mostly the show follows the same story of Mark Grayson coming of age and finally acquiring his powers. The thing though is that no one was actually expecting him to get his powers. Like, he's only a half-blood Viltrumite, and the odds of getting powers like that are low, so when he does, it's really a massive shock and no one knows how to react. No one being his mom and his dad, since they're the only ones that know, of course. Throughout the show, seeds are placed that end up exploding massively later in the season. They cause catastrophic changes to Mark, changes no character you've ever seen has had to go through before, and the voice actors sell every second of it. Every voice actor did amazing, and really sold every single scene.
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch everyone around you die. Think, Mark!
But to add to that, the dialogue and writing in this show are top notch and are a testament to what it looks like when a smaller team is willing to pay attention to every little detail. I mean, to be fair, the writer for the comic did stay consistent for as long as it was being produced, and he was heading the show, so when you think about it, it was really just a mix of perfect planning and a great deal with Amazon. Sometime after the series ended, a special was released named Adam Eve, which focuses on the character of the same name. Now, one of my biggest gripes with the series up to this point was that there really wasn't anything going on within the lives of other characters outside of Mark's family. That's not a big deal, especially because it was just the first season and there's so much to go over, but that's why I feel like an hour-long format would help the show in a lot of ways. Thankfully though, with Adam and Eve, we got just what I wanted, a story episode for one of the side characters. I feel like with universes like this, you really need to explain where everyone came from and who they are. It gives a lot more meaning when things happen to them, and helps portray emotions to even greater degrees, in say times like having to relive trauma and so on. Having this episode was a great deep dive into her character as a whole, and I'm hoping to see more of her and Mark next season. Another thing to mention is that even in this one-off episode, there's still some lore building happening, so my hopes for this season don't look too far off. What exactly are my hopes though? Well, in order to understand that, let me bring up some of my gripes, and you'll see that there's not too much, really just nitpicks. So one thing I notice a lot is how much AI is used for generating people in the background. Some of it looks really bad, and if you're paying attention, you'll be able to notice it at points. But on the other hand, it is the background, so you're not supposed to pay attention, you know? It's just little things like that. AI is used a lot, and at some points it does look good, but when it doesn't, it really doesn't. Overall, the show looks amazing, and like I said before, this art style is perfect for a superhero show, and other than being able to notice shortcuts taken here and there, it's one of the most beautiful animated shows to come out in recent years. Hey, I'm really just happy with anything that's not a Cal Arts inspo, you know? But lastly, I want to bring back up how little the story between Mark and Eve got to develop. This might have just been because of the whole Amber side plot, but the biggest thing I'm hoping for in Season 2 is a deep dive into that idea. I feel like these two characters have a lot going for them, and I would love to see it explored. Invincible is such a breath of fresh air in a frankly oversaturated superhero genre, and it along with The Boys is a step in the right direction for superhero animation. I've always been a DC fanboy from an animation standpoint, like Batman Beyond, the Justice League, Flashpoint, all of that was my shit back in the day. And seeing an animation in the style of a Marvel cartoon with the tone and the violence of a DC cartoon is really just an amazing mash, and I can't wait to see more. With all that out of the way though, make sure that if you do want to see more videos like this, you subscribe, and while you're down there, be sure to tell me what else you want to see me talk about. By the way, another Adventure Time video is in the works, so make sure you look out for that one and have notifications on. It's something really cool, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. But for now, I hope y'all have had an amazing day, evening, or night, whenever y'all are watching this, and I'll say hello to you guys in the next video. Peace out.